Hey everyone, welcome to the broadcast tonight. I'm going to cover some basics on contacting. And if you're ever going to build a large organization, one of the things you're going to have a good grasp of is how to separate the contact from the invite. And what happens with most of us, we get asked a question and we get stumped. And that question usually is, what do you do? And what most of the times happens when someone asks you that question is we default back to the products that we are marketing. And so we end up talking about them. We're building a distribution network. We've got health products, skincare products, whatever products you're marketing is what we end up talking about. And the minute we do that, we automatically stack the deck against us in building a large network marketing business. And the reason for that is that network marketing is a method of making money where you need a lot of people all doing a little bit. And the minute you bring up products in the conversation of what you do, they perceive that you're in a sales organization, right? And right there, they're not interested in what you do. And so here's what I do. When people ask me what I do for a living, or what do I do, who do I work for, I just say, hey, I work for a company that specializes in setting up secondary cash flow businesses for the individual that will outperform anything you have in your portfolio. And we don't just work, with the big money guys. We actually have an entry-level program that'll knock your socks off. For only a $25 a month participation, we can show you how to put $25,000 a year in your pocket within the first year. And so that's what I do. Okay, now, so that becomes my contact. And again, what you want to do is you want to separate that contact from the invite. So when people say, hey, what do you do? I work with a company that specializes in setting up secondary cash flow businesses for individuals that will outperform anything that you have in your portfolio, guaranteed. And we don't just work with the big money guys. We actually have an entry-level program that'll knock your socks off. We have a $25 monthly participation that can put $25,000 in your pocket within your first year. And then you can say, you wouldn't happen to know anyone who's looking to make some really good extra cash, do you? So that's how you separate the contact from the invite. It's a really good idea to do a third-party invite. So that way you're not really putting pressure on them. And again, when I say you don't have to know anybody that might be looking for a good secondary cash flow business right now, do you? So I ask the question in such a fashion where no is an acceptable answer, so I get more of an honest answer. And I don't ask them if they're looking. I'm asking them if they know of anyone. And if the conversation comes back, say, well, what kind of person are you looking for? I say, well, we'd have to interview, and we do have some profile that we're looking for. Or if they come back and say, well, what exactly is this? Well, then you just say, well, the first thing I would have to do is interview them to make sure they fit the profile for what we're looking for. And there's probably about a 15-minute interview process we'd have to take them through to make sure they fit our profile. And that right there gets away answering any more questions, because it takes about 15 minutes. And I want you to look at this. When you do it this way, you don't come across as a sales guy. You come across as an interviewer. So you're not a seller. You're not a sales guy. You're actually an interviewer. You're interviewing people to see if they fit what we're looking for. And so you separate the contact from the invite, and then say, well, how's this all work? Well, the first step is we'll have to interview the client to make sure they fit the profile, and we got about a 15-minute interview process. So if you happen to know anybody, give them my number. I'd be more than happy to talk with them and set up a time to have an interview with them. And so that's how you get out of spilling all your candy in the lobby. And be honest with you, you are going to interview these people. This is not just a sales pitch to get them in with you. This literally is the process to making you successful network marketing. You have to realize that people always act in a manner that's consistent with how they see themselves conceptually. So you really do want to interview these people to see if they're what you're looking for. And there are three basic questions that I start off. In fact, is when I sit down with them, I say, hey, listen, I'm going to run you through everything from A to Z. And if you like what you see, and if you feel this is a good fit, and if I feel you're a good fit for us, I'd like to set up a time for us to talk again within the next 24 to 48 hours. Is that fair? So if you like this, and I agree that you're a good fit, we can agree to talk either tomorrow or the day after. Cool. And at the same token, if I think this is not a good fit for you, or if you think this is not a good fit for you, we can both say, hey, this is a no-go. Fair enough? Cool. Well, before I get into all the details, let me just make sure that I think that you are going to be a good fit for what we do, and that this is going to be a good mix. And the first question I asked him has to do with motivation. I say what I'd like you to do is just from a scale from 5 to 1, 5 being you are 100% motivated about looking for additional income streams. And 1 is, well, if the right deal happens to come across your desk, you might be open to look at it. So 1 being, oh, if it comes across my desk, I'll look. And 5 is, I am seriously looking. Give me a rating from 1 to 5 where you're at. And I'll tell you this right now, if people do not tell me 4 or above, they do not qualify. I am not interested in bringing people into my business. I don't want to take my time. I don't want to take my money, my resources, my expertise, and spend it with somebody who's not hungry. So they got to tell me 4 or above. If they say, oh, probably about a 3, I say, well, cool. Probably what I've got is going to be a good fit for you. But I do appreciate, you and I talk. It's awesome. What I will do, we actually have some contracts with some great vendors. I might shoot you some links to some of these vendors. You might be interested in some of the product lines that we put together. But you don't really fit the profile for the business owner that we're looking for that can generate the cash flow we're talking about. Because I will not take my time and spend it on somebody who's a 3. They've got to be aggressively looking, or at least looking firmly. Okay. Somebody says, well, if it comes across my desk, because there's no motivation, there's no hunger there. Okay. Second question, I ask them and say, hey, listen, now, everybody's got a certain amount of money that fires them up. What's the least amount of money, let's say a cash flow on a monthly basis, would it take to fire you up to get you excited? Just give me a number. There's no wrong number. I'd just like to know where you're at. What's the least amount of money on a monthly basis that would excite you? This is extra cash flow. And then whatever they tell you, okay? Again, if it's 100, it's 100. If it's 500, it's 5,000. And again, that information is important to you, because if they're telling you they want to, $500 a month would fire them up, well, we don't want to show them how to make $50,000 a month, because what happens is they equate the work for what the amount of money that fires them up. And so it obviously takes more work to make, $50,000 a month than to make 500. So that information is just to arm you, so you've got the right information to help present the right game plan for them. And then the third question I ask, I say, well, what have you done in the past to generate additional cash flow? And if they haven't done anything, they do not qualify. I am not, again, people act in a manner that's consistent with how they see themselves conceptually. If they've never done anything in the past, then the fact is they'll probably never do anything now or in the future. And you don't have time. You've got to look for, again, if you want to make money in this industry, you got to look for 4 good ones. You got to look for 4 people that are 4 or 5 on the motivation level of searching for a way to make income. Again, the amount of money doesn't make that much difference. Just they got to be motivated and seriously looking, and they have to have tried things in the past. I love the guy who says, oh, I tried this, I tried that, I tried this. Well, that person tells me they've already tried things. Now, the reason they probably haven't succeeded is because nobody's taught them how to separate the contact from the invite, how to qualify the prospects, and what we're going to teach is how to qualify, close, and then show. Okay. Once you teach them how to qualify and close and then show, you get your 4. There is no pain in doing it this way. Okay. I'm interviewing them. If they're not a 4 or 5, it's over. I called it off, not them. Okay. If they haven't tried anything in the past, I call it off. So if they say, hey, I'm a 4, I'm a 5, okay, and $1,000 a month would fire me up, 2,000 a month, whatever it is, and dude, I've tried this, then I just say, it sounds like you might be a good fit for what we're doing, and let me show you, again, we're not talking about investing, we're talking about setting up a secondary cash flow business. So let me show you the business model that's going to generate this cash. And get whatever amount of money they tell you. So they told you $2,000 a month. Say, let me show you how we're going to set up this cash flow business that's going to generate for you $2,000 a month. Okay. And then you show them an end user link system. You say, here's how normal business works. A manufacturer makes a product, and the first thing they do is they got to advertise to create a demand. They got to brand that product. It costs a lot of money to brand it. And then they got to go out and hire sales reps to market the product through brokers who go through wholesalers who go through retailers. And then the consumer finally goes to the store to buy the product. And in normal marketing channels for a product that costs $1 to make, it ends up retailing about $6 at the store. All we're doing is setting up an end user link system. We set up an order consolidator, and then we basically connect all the end users. We bypass all those channels, and we take the money that's spent on normal channels that's coming back to us. That's all we do. And I can show you how to put whatever amount of money they just told you, $2,000 a month in your pocket. But there's only a couple of things I'm going to ask you to do. Would you be willing to spend $25 a month worth of product if you could put $2,000 a month in your pocket? Would you be willing to do that? See, you qualify them first. they got a 4 or 5 aggressive nature. Okay, they're hungry. Okay, they told you a specific amount of money, and they told you they've tried things before. Now they're qualified, and now we're going to close them. Would you be willing to spend $25 a month on stuff to make that kind of money? Now if they come back and say, well, that would kind of depend upon what the stuff is. So we obviously the stuff's got to be, it's got to be products that have values. It can't be pie in the sky. But if the products, you could see the products had value, would you be willing to spend $25 a month worth of product to make $2,000 a month? Well, I really got to check out the products. You say, well, let me ask you a question. What other options do you have to make $2,000 a month right now? Because if a person can't tell me yes before they know what the products are, they're not what I'm looking for. And see, I'm looking for the person to say, well, yes, as long as the products are real and they got value and they're competitively priced, I got no problem with that. Perfect. Because the reality is this, guys. Okay, would you be willing to buy $25 a month worth of toothpicks if you could make $2,000 a month cash flow? I mean, who wouldn't buy? What would you do with $25 a month worth of toothpicks? Do you really care? The attitude that you're looking for, if you want to build a large network marketing business, you've got to look for that person who's hungry, who has a specific amount of money, and who has tried things in the past, who's willing to commit to buy X amount of dollars a month. Now, obviously, you don't have to buy the products. You can generate the volume, through retail customers. But the fact is, I'm looking for the person who's willing to spend the money, and it's only $25 a month. Okay, and so $25 a month can make them $2,000 a month. $25 a month can make them $500 a week. It can make them $2,000 a month, $25,000 a year. And if they can't say yes, I'm willing to buy $25 to make that kind of money, it's over. If they say, yeah, I'd be willing to do that, and say, well, then here's the second thing. Okay, we got to go out and find 4 people who have the same aggressive nature you do about looking to make some money, who have a specific amount of money they'd like to make, who've tried things before, who'd be willing to spend $25 to make $2,000 a month. Do you think with me, you and I working together, you think we could find 4? And if they come back and say, oh, I just don't think we can, it's over. I mean, are you getting this? You are not selling people. You are interviewing them. I am looking to bring somebody in. I take my time, my money, my resources, and my expertise to help them build an end user link system that can generate cash flow for them. But here's what's required. They have to be aggressively looking. They got to have a specific amount of money. They have had to have tried some things in the past. They have to be willing to spend $25 a month, and they have to believe that they can find 4 people. If they can't say yes to all those questions, you are wasting your time in trying to help and trying to get them in this. Then you become a seller instead of an interviewer. It is so much more fun to interview people. Now, if they say, yep, I'm motivated, I'm a 4 or 5, yep, I got a specific amount of money, yep, I've tried things in the past, yep, I'm willing to spend $25 a month, and yeah, I believe I can get 4, they say, here's what we're going to do. We need to talk again. And so you're going to have a whole lot of questions. Write them down. When I get back with you, I'll run you through everything. In fact, is if you want, why don't you have a couple of those guys you're thinking about sitting in, so when we're talking with them, I can help you get your 4. You see, here's the mindset of a network marketer in contrast to an affiliate marketer. An affiliate marketer is only looking to get people in because they get paid on the front side. A network marketer makes their money on the team. So it's more important to me to help that brand new person get somebody in than it is for me to get them in. So when I'm talking, say, hey, let's get together and talk tomorrow. And if you want to have some of your guys sit in, and what do you tell them? Just, hey, ran across this guy. He works with a company that specializes in setting up secondary cash flow businesses that can outperform anything they have in their portfolio. And we don't just work with the big money guys. We get an entry-level program that you can get involved with only a $25 a month participation, and you can make $25,000 a year. First year, you need to check this out and have them sit in. I'll take them through this, and that's how we can get that's how I can help you get your 4. Because all you got to do is commit to buy $25 a month to get 4, and I'll run all the details when we get together. So then I book a second get together, and again, my goal is to have them have somebody there. Because again, there's a concept that's called BAM, book a meeting. It's called BAM FAM, book a meeting from a meeting. So you always want to be booking meetings. And again, some people say, well, I don't want to have to contact my warm market. I want to use the internet. I want to. Now, if you don't think, if a person says, I think I can get it, but I don't know if I can contact my friends because I've already blew them out with, ABC, XYZ, and, MICKUI, all these different companies. You say, well, we do have a system. We've got a list broker we've contracted with as a publisher that will provide with you 100 qualified prospects every month, and we can work with you and help you get your 4 with them. But the reality is, you just got to get 4. If you've got the warm market, those are the easiest ones because those people pick up the phone when the phone rings because they can see your caller ID. They know who you are. Those are the ones if you send a text to, they read it. Those are the ones if you send an email to, they open it. If you got cold prospects that you're marketing, it takes a little bit longer, it takes a little bit more work, and you got to warm up to them. You already warmed up to the warm market. And if you look at this thing from a simplicity standpoint, it's only $25 a month. It's a cash flow business that can put $25,000 in your pocket first year on a $25 a month participation. And it's not an investment. You're not investing $25. You're actually buying products that have high value. They're high demand, high impact products. So you're getting value for the $25. So you're actually getting something you're going to use anyway. So this is cool. Once you get this mindset through, interview people, stop selling people, separate the contact from the invite. And then the only thing you got to do is you just got to get motivated yourself. You got to have a dream in your heart that's in front of you. You've got to know what you want. You got to know why you want it. You got to know how you're going to feel when you're going to get it. And then you got to have focus. You got to focus, go look for your 4. And then you contact with an intent to sort. You are interviewing people. You are not selling people. And I'm going to go ahead and close the recording down.